What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we're going to be talking about this guy. This is the Artisan Cutlery Arion. This is a Cerberus knives design made by Artisan Cutlery. Cerberus knives, if you don't already know, they are knife designers, but they also do a lot of very high quality aftermarket parts, scales mostly. So definitely go check them out. I'll have it linked down below. But this is a design by them, and I really, really like it. I think it's a good collaboration between Artisan Cutlery and them. And it is only available as of right now through Artisan Cutlery's website. I believe there will be available at a lot of other retailers soon. But what that translates to as of right now is a price tag of around $266. And I almost know for sure that it will be cheaper at the other retailers. I may be wrong, but only time will tell. This thing is on loan, sent to me by Lefty EDC, but this is Brad's knife over at Mild Mannered EDC. Thank you so much, sir, for allowing Lefty to send it to me and let me get it in hand. I have really enjoyed this thing. It's got a lot of the things that I like, right? So what are we working with? We have this beautiful, oh God, lost for words, micarta scale. And I can't remember what they call this micarta color. It's like some kind of wine color, you know. Anyway, I love the way it looks. It is not like way smooth, but it's not aggressive either. I like the texture of it. It's pretty cool. I really, really dig it. It's a bigger knife. It's a Kyle size knife, which of course I love. Titanium frame lock with S35vn steel, which is kind of common seeing or coming out of Artisan Cutlery on their more premium knives. See if you can get a good look at this. The little micro milling on the titanium, which is kind of reminiscent of Artisan Cutlery Centauri that I had, the front flipper. Kind of the same micro milling on that side. You do have a very small, somewhat, I mean, it's not deep carry, but I think it'll carry deep enough. Pocket clip that works really well, very minimal size. I like that. And of course, your opening method is a hole. Very thin, pill-shaped hole. But it's pretty long, so you have, a little bit of, more options to be able to where you need to put your finger to to engage the knife. I can use the index finger with this, so very nice. Obviously, you guys know that is my preferred way to open a knife, and this is the only way. I can use the thumb, but not really. It's not really a good thumb flicker. Can be done, and I'm not very good at the thumb flick on a hole, but it can be done. The detent on this thing is really nice. It's strong enough to where you're not going to have a problem, which most knives are, but I think it's a little bit stronger than most of the titanium frame locks with a hole, and I like that. I like a stronger detent. That way, it flicks out, it makes good sounds, and it feels very satisfying. Now, this hole compared to other hole opening options, I would rather have it be a little wider. It's almost a little too thin. It doesn't really take away from the experience, but a hole like on the Grand, of course that, just kind of gives me more room to get my fat finger in there. Obviously, you have the Spidey hole. So I like that. And then you also have something like the Leon Mall design, which is kind of a mixture of the Giant Mouse and this, right? That really gives you enough room and length. So, yeah, I like it that it is a whole deployment. I kind of almost wish it was a little bit bigger. However, it would take away from the design of the knife, because if it was any bigger, the blade would have to be bigger, right? So I can't really fault that. And it works really well. It's just not as good as some of these others, even though it still works. So why am I complaining about it? I don't know. It's just my preferences on when I get the knife out of my pocket and where I need to put my finger. I've gotten used to this, so it works really well. It just wasn't as intuitive right out of the box for me. So yeah, anyways, Hardware, minimal hardware. It would be very easy to take this knife apart. Of course, I did not do that. It is not my knife. The lock bar insert is also doubles as an over travel stop, and getting to that lock bar is pretty nice. It's not the best, but it is absolutely functional. You see a little bit of chamfering there, but it doesn't stick out. It is flush with the scales, so getting it out of the way really isn't a problem. And then, of course, that really, really nice action. Very smooth, of course, running on berries. Ball shut to your nail, and just a few little soft shakes, and it is home. It is very fun to play with. I will say that, of course, this is my style of knife, right? One thing it doesn't have that you guys know I love is a forward finger troll. So what that translates to in ergonomics is still fine. I would rather have a finger troll, but the way this handle is shaped, this neutral handle, and how much I get of it is very, very comfortable in hand. The fact that this pocket clip is rounded and small, you can't feel the pocket clip. It is absolutely wonderful in the hand. I have to admit, this one is comfortable. It does have nice jimping at the top. It is not too aggressive. You know, kind of a medium spaced jimping. And in the backed up grip, because I can't really choke up, you know, my thumb lands close to it. It's a part of my thumb that's on it in this regular grip, I would say. And then, of course, if I wanted to back up, which you can on this very neutral handle to get some reach, which I like. I like that about neutral style handles. It gives me a lot of options to be able to put my hand anywhere on this knife. And a reverse grip feels absolutely amazing. I really enjoy that, even though I don't use it much. You know, I actually can flick it upside down with what I can do with most, but you just have to be mindful of where your fingers are getting on the lock bar, but that's just fun. A lot of times when I'm playing with my knives, I'll flick it open that way just because it's different. So yeah, really, really digging it. Ergonomics good, materials good, the fit and finish is good. You know, and on one of my Artisan Cutlery videos for the Centauri, I kind of gave them a hard time about, you see that finish right there where the lock bar is burnt out with the wire EDM. That is not really a big deal to me anymore. It wasn't a huge deal, and Artisan Cutlery reached out whenever I made that video and said, hey, they're going to try to, you know, minimize that or fix that, which is awesome as a company that they're looking at videos on their knives and seeing what the people think. I don't know if anybody else has complained about that, and it really wasn't a complaint. It was just something that I wanted them to, you know, put a little bit more time into, because on the Artisan Cutlery, it was just the wire burn. This one, you can see the wire burn, but you can see that it was blasted. So they're doing better. They're doing really good. I don't think this is an issue at all. So I can already tell that they are doing something different. And that's awesome. Artisan Cutlery, listening to the community and making it happen. So I got to give them props for that. They make, of course, a lot of great knives, great designs. And this one, with a collaboration with Cerberus Knives, I think is a home run. Now, we talked about Ergo's S35vn Blade. It is a very high saber grind, flat grind blade that is not too terribly thick. So how does it cut? It cuts pretty well. These are the kind of blade shapes that I really like. The drop point / kind of leaf shaped blade. This is at least what I call them. Very thin this way, but it has a very good tall grind. They really, really work well. Let's see what it does to the cardboard. I mean, hardly any resistance on the cardboard. Slices through it like butter. This is a great cardboard cutting knife. What does it do to the paracord? Nothing. Cuts cleanly. Very, very nice. What about the twisted sisal rope? This one gives knives a little bit of trouble. Let's see what it does. This is a very nice shaped blade to be able to cut through things like this, and it does. You saw just me going a little step, but it bit into that and did an excellent job. You can't ask for a better performer. It is a performer. The knife is a tool, and it's made to cut, right? This one does that, but it also gives you the benefit of very good action, very good build quality, the deployment method that I like. And so all around, I really like this knife. So let's go ahead, turn the camera around, get some size comparisons and some spec and a closer look at this really beautiful. I think they got another color that they're going to be doing on this, maybe a green micarta. Don't quote me on that, which is something I would like, you know. But this color is just amazing. So let's flip the camera around and get you a little better look. Alrighty. So I'm not sure if the camera is really going to be picking up this beautiful color like it is in real life. I love this wine kind of, I don't know, they have a name for it. I can't remember the damn name, but it is just really, really nice. I love that color. And then of course, let's see if we can get you some really good, there's that micro milling that you see that goes all the way from the lock bar to all these places. Does it go on the lock bar? Yeah, it's on the lock bar as well. So very, very nicely done. I think it's a very nice touch. There is a very good look at the blade. Satin finish, a little bit of fingerprint magnet, but it is a beautiful, beautiful blade with your logo there and your Cerberus logo there. Serial number and S35vn. Don't need the serial number, but everything else is awesome. I mean, I don't really care that they put it on there. I just don't think it's necessary. But anyway, I think it's a very sexy looking knife. It's like I said, it's not something that is just wow, you know, kind of a thing. But these are the kind of designs that really speak to me. I have the Leon Mall Field Duty, and there's a lot of similarities as far as shape and whatnot that, you know, the functions of those knives. And the reason I love it, this one has a lot of the same things, right? This one, of course, not a small knife. It is a Kyle size EDC knife. It is about 8.375 inches overall with a blade length of 3.625 and a cutting edge right at 3.5. Perfect dimensions in my wheelhouse. I love that. Blade width is about 1.25 inches. Blade thickness is about 130 thousandths, but it gets down to about 19 thousandths behind the edge, which translates to a very good cutter. It is a slicer. It really did well in my EDC task, especially with the S35vn steel. The handle length is about 4.75. Handle width is about 1 inch, and you've got about 0.42 on the thickness. So not a very thick guy, which is fine. I usually like them thicker because it fills my hand out, but it has enough width here to fill my big old meat hooks. And so it is just a very, very comfortable knife to hold on to while you're cutting. Let's see what it weighs before we get some size comparisons. My very old crappy scale here. So 3.55 ounces, and remember we have a 3.625 blade length. That's great. That is right there on the ounce an inch. So I don't think we should have any problems or any complaints about how this knife is as far as weight and carry. Still slim enough to where you can put it in your pocket, get your hand past there. I love it. I love it. I think they've done an excellent job. Let's go ahead and put it up against some other knives in the collection. Here it is against the Spyderco PM2. Similar, but just a little bit longer on the Arion, and of course thinner here because of the way they've done the hole. They don't have to extend that blade out to where you have this kind of thing going on with the PM2. So in that sense, it's nice, especially for the carry. Put it up against a Benchmade. This is the Super Freak. Pretty similar in size there. Definitely a thicker handle on the Benchmade. This one is going to carry a little better because of that thinness. So very, very similar. And because I had it out earlier, let's go ahead and put it up against the Giant Mouse Ace Grand. Definitely thicker in the handle on the Ace Grand. Well, thinner in almost every way. You got a little bit taller blade on the Ace Grand. A little bit more blade length on the Arion. So, and then of course, one of my newest acquisitions that I just have really fallen in love with. Here it is against the Leon Ma Koof. And as you can see, similar ergonomics as far as what you've got going on here as far as the handle, very neutral. However, the Leon Ma and the way they've made this cutout here going into the blade where you can choke up on the blade, absolutely Love that, and I wish more knife makers would do it this way. You know, you kind of have that with your PM2s where that kind of comes out into the blade here, but you've got jimping, and then you have this big nub, and then your blade length. So the way that they've done it on the Leon Mall, I really, really like. But as you can see, as far as handle, very similar, neutral enough handles that that work really well. The Koof 4.0 is obviously a bigger knife, but they have the 3.0 and the 2.0. I think the 2.0 would be more to the size of the Arion. So all in all, this knife, can I recommend this thing? Oh my gosh, yeah. Now, I don't want to say that I want to recommend it at the $266 that you have to pay for it right now on Artisan Cutlery's website. Do I think it's worth it? I think so. However, I do believe, you know, going by history, that when they go to other retailers, they'll be a little bit cheaper. Now, how much cheaper? I don't know. So I personally, if I was looking at this knife, I would wait for it to drop on some of those retailers and see if it is at a lower price. Because $266, I know that's kind of a hard pill for some to swallow when you have S35vn, but S35vn is just a good steel, guys, and Artisan Cutlery has already been, they've been using it for a while, and I know they're tried and true as far as how they do the heat treat, so there is no problems with that for me. I'm very curious when they come out to other retailers of what they're going to be. I think it's going to actually be a really good deal because I think it'll be a substantial difference. I may be wrong. The Artisan Cutlery Centauri that I had, it had carbon fiber scale, not the micarta, S35vn titanium frame lock, just like this, that was like right at $200. I'm expecting that to happen with this knife. So if it does, I think it's going to be just a absolute winner, and people are going to buy this thing up like hotcakes because it is that good. I really, really have enjoyed it. Guys, I want you to go over and subscribe. If you probably already are subscribed. My Brad over at Mild Mannered EDC is just a freaking awesome dude. I love his videos. He's funny. He's just, we have similar taste, but then also opposite taste. He is very mild-mannered, and it's an EDC style. So, you know, whenever he talks about EDC, he's talking about the good everyday carry knives that that people can carry every day, not something like this guy that I carry on a daily basis. So, not all day, but you know what I mean. So, anyways, go check out Brad. Tell him hello and how much we love him over at DTOM Knives and Gears. Guys, stay safe in this crazy world that we are living in, and we will see you in the next one.